Alright, first of all, sorry for the shaky camera. I don't have any professional equipment or anything. I don't have anything to hold it steady, so it's just using one of them cheap dollar store phone mounts. And before I start, I want to say thank you for all the subscribers and the support. That means a little. It really does motivate me to keep going. I really do want to thank everybody for that. But with that out of the way, this is a 2006 Cadillac DTS DTS four-door sedan. Of course, it's a four-door sedan. They didn't make a two-door, and it's in raven black with the alloy wheels. And this car is fully loaded with everything but the sunroof and the vinyl top. And I'm having to watch my speed here because while I'm talking, I'm trying not to speed. This particular car right here, you can probably hear it, but it's got a MagnaFlow exhaust system on it. It's a dual exhaust, but it's not a true. It goes into one muffler and splits out of that same muffler. This is the high output motor, the HO motor, making around 300 horsepower and 300 foot-pounds of torque. To the front wheels, it's a front wheel drive, quad cam, all aluminum, 4.6 liter V8, the Northstar V8, well known for their flaws. But this particular year model it doesn't have those problems. People like to be like, oh, Northstar, terrible motor, and for the most part, yeah, they are. But after around this year, they changed it, and especially for the high output, they put bigger studs in the heads, causing it to not have the issue of head gasket failure. And when you fix the head gasket failure, they're good cars. But this car right here it's old school luxury car, old school Cadillac with modern day refinements. It's got heated rear seats, heated and cooled front seats, dual memory zone, all the standard climate stuffs, dual zones, all that. It's got an analog clock in it. And it's a pretty quick car. It's pretty fun to drive. It feels like it's slow as Christmas, even though I'm doing 45 miles an hour. It feels like you're doing 20 down the highway when you're doing 60 something. But they get up and go when you want it to. I'm not gonna give it any throttle right now because the car's in front of me. Nor is this my car, so I'm not gonna give it any throttle. If I do, it'd be for a second, only so you can hear the exhaust note. But it's got a touch screen with navigation. The navigation works. Came with satellite, and this was a one-owner car. I'm pretty sure. It was bought for $3,200. I want to say, from a junkyard of all places. But there's nothing wrong with the car. It's got some chips in the windows, all that, basic normal stuff. It's average for cars this old, but it's in really, really good shape. It's really good shape. It's got all the paperwork with it. The paint has no chips in it. There's no fading. You can tell it was well taken care of. And this particular one's sitting at 143,000 miles. 143,000 miles. 143,000 miles, 911 is what it's sitting at. 143,911 miles is what this car is at right now as I drive. And it handles pretty good, drives pretty good for a big front wheel drive, big body, old luxury car. And it rides really comfortable. I know it probably doesn't seem like that from the camera, but it just soaks up all the bumps. All of them. You don't feel nothing driving this car. It's like you're on a cloud. Of course, this being the DTS, it has a little stiffer suspension than the DeVille. So the normal DeVille non-DTS variant makes a little less horsepower. It's not as quick as this one. Doesn't handle as good, but it rides softer because it's got softer suspension. This car will also allow you to turn off the traction control, so it does try to be sporty. Is it a sporty car? No. No, I ain't gonna try to claim it's a sporty car. It's a fun to drive, pretty quick, front-wheel drive V8, and they're not that expensive. You can have one of these for about $4,000 or $5,000 in this condition, with around the same miles, which I know you're not seeing any of the car, the condition of the car or anything, because it's just a camera pointed at the road. Which I'm looking into trying to get a POV set up for the phone, but I don't know if it's possible. I would love to invest in some GoPros and stuff to increase my quality. But I don't have any of the money right now because I'm working on something else. I'm working on that green car I talk about a lot and show off sometimes. Yeah, let me give you a minute. Yeah, it's pretty quick. I'm doing that. I was going 10, now I'm doing 40. 0 to 60 time with these cars is about, I want to say it was like 6 seconds, which for a car that weighs, I want to say it's 4,200 pounds. That's fast, even especially for 2006. But this was around the beginning of the modern muscle car era, the new genesis of muscle cars, as I like to call it. Because they really are. We're in the genesis of muscle cars right now, of modern day cars. We're at the peak of gasoline cars. They are not going to get better. At least I don't see it happening. But that's a whole different topic. I'll get into that later if you want to hear me talk about what I think the future of gas stuff is going to be. I want to hear some random 19-year-old talk about how gas cars are going to progress, what's going to happen to them, my predictions. But yeah, and this is a very sensible car when it wants to be. But you can open it up and get up and go. It really will. This is the first time I've driven it, so this is first impressions. But I could say it handles a lot like my old 94. It drives and feels a lot like my 94 DeVille, just way more refined, way nicer, way newer, way faster. It's a better car, obviously. It's a 94 DeVille, 4.9 liter V8, obviously. But it comes from the same pedigree, so you can definitely feel that here. And what else can I say about this car? It's a really pretty car. I used to not like these DeVilles, these DTSs. I used to not be really fond of the way they looked. I used to think they looked kind of like a knockoff Mercedes, and they kind of do. But seeing one up close and seeing one in person, actually looking at one, driving one, feeling it, I love this car. I wish it was my car. I really do. I wish it was mine. Now, if you're not used to these DeVilles, if you're not used to these Cadillacs, especially the V8 Cadillacs, you have to really watch yourself, because they'll get up on you and you won't really notice it. Like, I'm watching the speed right now. I'm doing the speed limit. Because they feel really slow. They're not slow. I promise you, they are not slow. But they feel it. And this car, they are not slow. What else can I say? I'm running out of things to say. I'm about to end the video. Yeah, the steering. I was talking about the suspension a while ago. I know my points are all over the place. I apologize. These videos are not scripted. I do this all in one take. Especially with driving the cars, because I only get one take. The handling and feel of the steering wheel's tighter. It's way tighter than my old DeVille was. But that's because it's the touring coupe, or touring sedan. Is this what DTS stands for? DTS stands for DeVille Touring Sedan. And it has a better driving feel than the normal DeVille. It's quicker, normally has the higher output motor in it. Not always, but it normally does have the higher output motor in it. And I think the DeVille is actually less common than the DTS. Oh, it's got a parking sensor on it. And it's a pretty decent car, really. Now, I will say some of my gripes with this car is it's a good car. It's a nice car. It rides comfortable, it's quick, fun to drive. If you want to drive it from what I'm driving, it feels like a normal car, but that exhaust really helps it. It really makes it feel more fun, in my opinion. Is the materials GM used? This was 2006, very close to the recession GM, and you can tell. The build quality is not bad. It's built really well, but the materials suck. It feels really, really cheap. Like, all the wood in this car, the wood grain, fake. It's fake wood grain. The dash, it looks like leather. It's not. It's rubberized plastic. It feels so cheap. The steering wheel, right out of a Cobalt. Leather wrap, sure, but right out of a Cobalt. And any other Chevy car. It's just the cheapest plastics in the world with this GM. That doesn't change the fact that this is a very nice car. The leather could be softer, but it's still good. You can tell it's GM leather, and plenty of storage in this car. The cloths are really good. I will say that about the cloths. And yeah, with that, I think I have said everything I can about this car. Anyway, if you want to help out this video, if you want to help out this channel, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me a lot. And I have a Discord. Go check that out if you want to talk about cars and stuff. If you want to talk about cars and things. That doesn't really help me any. I just want somebody to join the Discord. Like, comment, and share the video if you want to help. Thank you, and have a good one.